It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hello everybody, in this our 10th season on the air on your Southwest Outdoors Report, we've made a special attempt this year to explore new territory. 8 times so far this season, we've been on a lake that we've never showed you in 10 seasons on this show. And this episode marks our 9th of the season because this is Lake Waurika. This is a lake that's located in southwestern Oklahoma, just north of the Oklahoma-Texas border, north of the town of Waurika, Oklahoma. I've never seen the lake, never been on it, and don't have any information about the lake whatsoever. But driving up on the boat ramp here, I do see one thing. Lake Waurika, like many lakes around our region, is very low because of the drought conditions the last couple of years. However, there are still boat ramps in the water, so I'm going to put the NITRO Z8 in Lake Waurika for the first time ever. And while I'm out exploring, we are taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, I'll be bringing you a fall bass fishing forecast for Lake Sam Rayburn in deep East Texas. And on this week's Coast to Catch of the Week, I'm going to be showing you a brand new fish species that we've never showed you on this show as well. It's going to be fun. Lots of other news and notes from around the region is coming in the next half hour. While I get the boat launched, we're taking you back to the FSN studios, and here is Julie with this week's Weekend Planner.
Let's get you set up with information to help you have a successful fishing trip on the first weekend of October. According to the Salooner tables, you can expect fair fishing conditions Saturday and the best conditions of the month on Sunday. But prime times will take place in the early morning hours. It appears peak activity on Saturday will start in the morning at 3:50 a.m., while Sunday's best times begin at 4:40 a.m. Expect sunrise to take place at 7:25 with sunset happening at 7:05. And evenings will be lit by a waning moon that is 65% illuminated. We'll be right back with all of your fishing reports from around the Southwest. And I'll have this week's Whataburger Ask the Pro with Tommy Biffle talking about how a full moon affects daytime fishing.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by NITRO Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a NITRO. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. Quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. By Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. And by MotorGuide Trolling Motors. Engineering for anglers.
Got one. Let's see what it is. Got a crankbait on here fishing for a bass. Hey, welcome back everybody. Your SOR, it's a white bass. SOR is on the road today at Lake Waurika, southwest Oklahoma. And started off fishing for a largemouth bass, hoping to catch one of those. I know there's some of those in the lake along with spotted bass. So I picked up a bright chartreuse crankbait, as you can see there, and a white bass nailed it. And let me tell you why I picked up the chartreuse crankbait. The water here, from what I can tell already, is a little bit stained. It's not what I would call muddy or murky at all, certainly not clear, but it's got kind of a reddish tint to it. The reason it's got a reddish tint, you can see behind me here, the lake is down about 9 or 10 feet and it's exposed a bunch of red clay banks and red clay islands and points. Now that's a little hump, a little island that normally is underwater, but it's exposed out of the water right now, and the wave action washes some of that red color off into the water. I can still see down about 1.5 or 2 feet, so it's not bad at all. But as I've driven around the lake already, I've seen a lot of exposed stuff that would normally be submerged. So thought I might catch a largemouth bass and started throwing a crankbait around and caught a good-sized white bass just for starters. There are a lot of white bass in this lake along with some hybrid stripers, so my gut says that we're probably going to catch a lot of white bass today, especially if that one bit first thing. All right, let's start off with some of your other fishing reports from around the region. Here's the rest of Oklahoma and Gary Dollar.
I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we're getting to the period of time here in the fall that some big fish are really starting to show up again, and the lake record reports are showing that's true. September 16th, Sam Gillespie from Oklahoma City was fishing on Ponca City Lake near Ponca City, caught a new lake record blue cat. Really a nice fish, 41.6 pounds, was 37 3/4 inches long. Great catch, Sam, great job on that. He caught it on natural bait. Now going a little bit farther south than that, down at Carl Blackwell Lake, which is just west of Stillwater, Jeremy Brown from Stillwater was fishing soft plastics, caught the new lake record largemouth bass. Weighed 8.1 pounds, caught it on a soft plastic. That fish measured 25.5 inches long, had a girth of 17.5 inches. Jeremy, great catch on that fish as well. Now, Oklahoma has a great lake record program. You can find out more about it at wildlifedepartment.com. I talked to an angler here today that was throwing a lipless rattling bait along the rocky shoreline. Said he caught a good number of fish, nothing big, biggest about 3 pounds, but said he caught a good number of those and caught a couple of really nice fish first thing this morning on the Zara spook. Great time of year, fall fishing in Oklahoma. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Fall is a great time to go bass fishing on Big Sam Rayburn Lake in deep East Texas. And to back up that claim, there have been several huge bags of bass weighed in tournaments the last few weekends. Bags of 5 bass weighing 25 to 30 pounds. So let's show you Lake Sam Rayburn on the Lowrance HDS-10. It is a giant ocean of a lake, 114,000 surface acres. It can be very dangerous if it gets windy and you can get lost. So we'll just locate one small area. It's on the south side of the lake. It's protected from a south wind, and it's the area from Caney Creek down to Sandy Creek. There are tons of great spots to fish here with several creeks, points, and ditches. We show you up close just one of those areas and what it looks like up close. The lake is about 4 feet low right now, so the backs of the creeks are still good for bass on spinner baits, and any of these little ditches can also hold fish, and the points in between the ditches are also good with some scattered hydrilla beds out on the flats in front of those. You'll want to start your morning early with a topwater or a buzz bait, then graduate to a spinner bait, and then up in the midday hours go to a soft plastic bait like a lizard or a plastic worm. Lake Sam Rayburn is a great bass fishing lake in the fall. Get over there and get you some. That's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. Cajun Phil and Kevin are up next from Louisiana, and we'll have more from Waurika Lake in southwest Oklahoma. Got him. Come in here, Crappie. Oh, it's another white bass, big one. Man, look at the size of that dude. Come here. I got a 12-foot long pole here. All right. Hey, we're at Lake Waurika today. And there's another white bass for you. It looks like it's going to be a white bass day, but that's all right. That's a lot of good action. Let me tell you what we've done now. I've switched gears. And as you can see, I've moved back into a creek channel. There's a big, long snaking creek that winds all the way back in here. And as you can see, it's just loaded with all kinds of standing timber all down through there. So I got my big, long crappie pole out. That is my Lew's Wally Marshall. That's a big 12-foot long crappie pole. And I put a little Bobby Garland jig on there and started dropping it down in these big, I guess these are boat arcs maybe, mesquites, something like that. There are some big crappie in Lake Waurika, and as we're showing you, there are some big white bass as well. But that just gives you another look at what's in this lake. And at normal level, all this stuff right here will be underwater. If you put 9 more feet of water on the top of this, you can see what it would look like. A lot of good bass cover in here as well. There may be some largemouths hanging around in that as well. All right, Lake Waurika today, just giving you a little look at it. Let's check in right now in Louisiana with Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Outdoor Report from Southwest Louisiana. We're talking about saltwater fishing right now on Calcasieu Lake. As you can see by this pile of redfish and a few trout mixed in here, we had a great day out on the water. We had 3 boats go out this morning. All of us caught limits of redfish. Caught a lot of them on gulp, some on saltwater assassins, and I tell you what, we caught a few on live shrimp. Redfishing will be great throughout the winter. Trout fishing should start picking up once we started getting these little fronts coming through. The shrimp will be coming out of the marsh. Right now, we're going to kick it over and see what southeast Louisiana's fishing's like after the hurricane.
Thanks, Captain Kevin. Out here in Slidell, Louisiana, fishing Biloxi Marsh. Just saw some reds moving along the shoreline. It's been crazy since Isaac came out here. We've got some big beauties like this that ain't slot. Big, fat, healthy one. He's a gorgeous one. If you want some of this, give me a call. Therapy Charters, 985-649-3474. That's 985-649-FISH. Thank you.
Got something. Come in here. All right. All right, well, we caught a crappie. So we've got white bass, crappie, just a good keeper size crappie right there. Caught that one off of a brush pile, dropped the crappie jig in it, and sure enough, there he was. Well, let me mention a couple of facts for you about Waurika Lake. The lake is about 10,000 surface acres. It's got about 80 miles of shoreline. It's impounded on Beaver Creek, and it's got some nice parks, nice camping facilities, and it's got one marina. So it's a good place to come to if you'd like to stay for a weekend and have a chance to catch several different species of fish. Stay with us. Back to Waurika Lake for more and more of your weekly fishing reports right after this.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance and the all-new HDS Gen 2 with Structure Map Overview, by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability, by Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there, by Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day.
All right, there's something, but it doesn't feel like a hybrid like I'm fishing for. Hey, we're on Lake Waurika today, and we've moved out onto the main lake. And I thought I'd try to catch a hybrid striped bass, but what this feels like on a spoon, yep, there's another white. Come up here. Man, they've all been big though. This lake has got a bunch of big white bass in it. And I caught that one on a chrome jigging spoon, long skinny fish right there. That's a good size white. If we were keeping white bass today, we'd have a nice mess. I've probably caught, I don't know, 20, 25 whites, something like that. And done a little crappie fishing, a little bass fishing, and now decided to move out on the main lake, try some hybrid striper fishing. And while I haven't caught one yet, talked to some locals that live here and fish this lake all the time, and they said the way you catch the hybrid stripers is to come out on the main lake, lower into the lake, down close to the dam, and fish these long skinny points that come out in the lake. Now you can see that one is pretty shallow. It comes out here and drops off quickly out on the end of it, out into 25, 30 feet of water. So that's the way you find them. Find the bait fish on your graph. And by the way, this lake is loaded with threadfin shad. Everywhere we've been today, and we've been all over the lake, has been loaded up with threadfin shad. So you throw that spoon out there, let it go to the bottom, crank it up a few times, push your button, let it go back down, crank it up again. You don't jig it, you reel it to try to catch those hybrid stripers. And there are some big ones here in Lake Waurika. So that gives you a little tip and a little look at what you can do if you want to try to catch a hybrid when you come here. Let's check right now with Brian Hughes. Check on your Texas freshwater fishing reports, followed by Bill Olson down on the coast.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Brian Paul Custom Guitars. Now this week we're going to go to Lake Lewisville for a great event for a great cause, the Fish for Life tournament benefiting the Cook Children's Medical Center in Fort Worth. Now, if I were fishing this event, I would start the mornings with a buzzbait around the rocks and emergent grasses trying to pick up those early bird active fish. Then I'll switch to a spinnerbait, a trap, or a shaky head around the marinas and docks. Finally, I'm going to end the day on main lake points with either a Carolina rig, a drop shot rig, or one of the new A rigs, and try to finish out my limit that way. Remember, that's the Fish for Life tournament out of Sneaky Pete's on Lake Lewisville, benefiting Cook Children's Medical Center. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Brian Paul Custom Guitars. Be sure and click on my picture on the website for more on the Lone Star Lakes. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, here's a simple question that when you answer it, it'll help you catch more fish. Where have the trout been? Answer: deeper water around shell and grass beds. Now, where are they going? The answer: around grassy shorelines and flats. The near-term kicker is to fish between these two locations with deeper water nearby. Now, as the water temperature continues to cool, the shallow bite will become more aggressive and the deep water bite will diminish until temperatures really drop and fish head toward winter holes. This scenario is beginning to play out south of Matagorda, around Port O'Connor and San Antonio Bay, down to Rockport. It's also prevalent around the islands and flats near the Corpus Christi Ship Channel and behind Mustang and North Padre Islands. On the upper coast, the same pattern is showing up. However, most anglers will go for the easy bite under the birds. With north winds blowing as fronts roll through, look for more bait to be dumped into Sabine, Galveston, and Trinity Bays. Redfish, snook, trout, and flounder are being caught out of Port Isabel. Watch for the Brownsville Ship Channel and longbar to the causeways to really turn on. This weekend, Saturday's a 3-tide day with 2 low tides and just 1 high. This Sunday has a single tide schedule of 1 high and 1 low tide. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Each week you see us fishing on the show here out of our NITRO Z8 fully rigged high performance fishing boat. And one of the things I love the most about the performance of this boat is how quickly it gets up on plane. The hole shot you get in a Z8 is fantastic, and that's because of the RPS, rapid planing system. They designed this hull to get this much weight and this much size up on plane quickly, get it stabilized, get it planed out for the best performance. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Very little effort. And just like that, this baby jumps up on plane, takes just a couple of seconds, then I can trim it out, stabilize it out for peak performance and peak fuel economy. You can check out all the details of the NITRO Z8, including the rapid planing system, at their website. Go to our front page at southwestouttdoorsreport.com. The bottom of the page, click on the NITRO Boats link.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 10 years running. By Excite, start positive, stay positive. By Lew's Reels and Rods, feel the difference. And by Onyx Personal Flotation Devices and Rainwear, keeping you safe on the water.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our Whataburger Ask the Pro. This week's question is from Chris in Houston, who asks, how does a full moon affect fishing during the day? For the answer, we went to professional angler Tommy Biffle of Oklahoma.
Well, I think the full moon hurts daytime fishing, unless they're spawning. You know, if they're spawning, they're on the beds and you can see them, then it's, you know, a different story. But I believe when the moon's up, they're feeding. When the moon goes down, they're not feeding. And same way with deer hunting. I'm a big deer hunter, and I pay a lot of attention to the moon. I think it affects all the animals and the humans. If we didn't have an ice box to go to, get something out of it, we'd be feeding by the moon.
Thanks, Tommy. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestouttdoorsreport.com, follow the Ask the Pro link, and submit your information. Now back to Barry with our Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is yet another first for our show. Pictured here is David Birch of Slidell, Louisiana, showing off a 22-inch flounder he caught at Lake Pontchartrain, Louisiana. And that is the first flounder entered and winning on the Costa Catch of the Week contest. If you would like to enter your fish, go to our website at southwestouttdoorsreport.com, and once you do that, you can enter your big fish photo. And while you're at our website, go to the bottom of the front page where all the logos are, click on the Costa logo, and you can go straight to their website and see all of their frame styles and lens styles, including the frame style of the month that I was wearing on this week's show, Jose. And this week on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, I want to talk to you just a second about choosing the right trolling motor for your boat. Now on my big NITRO Z8 fully rigged fishing boat, I have the MotorGuide Tour Edition Digital 109. It's a big motor, 36 volts, 109 pounds of thrust, and will pull this big boat around with ease. But on my Bass Tracker Pro 165, I've got a much smaller motor. It's only a 24 volt motor with much less thrust. You need to choose the right motor for your boat, and the folks at Academy would always be willing to talk with you and help you choose the right trolling motor for your boat size and application. Hey, don't forget to join us on next week's show. We'll be on at 10:30 p.m. on Thursday night, and if there are any conflicts, you'll always see the latest at the front page of our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. And that front page of our website is your Grand Central Station, the latest episode of our show, always up 24/7 right on the front page, and the direct link to our YouTube channel. All of the archives for the entire season right there on the front page. And finally, you can get to our Facebook page from the front page of our website as well. And on the Facebook page, you'll always get lots of fishing news, information, photos, and video that you'll never see here on our television show. And be sure to click the like button. Hey, Lake Waurika, southwest Oklahoma, is a good fishing lake. It is about 10 feet low right now. Little bit tricky, but still plenty of water in the lake, and I think you and your family would have a great time on a little weekend fishing trip here. From southwestern Oklahoma, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.